Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with a collection pickup video, comic book edition. Went for my monthly comic book haul, and these were all the comic books that were waiting for me at my comic shop. So like always, I wanted to share the awesomeness with you. So let's get started. First book, Action Comics issue 6. This is a continuation of the interlude where Superman teams up with the Legion of Superheroes. Someone's discovered kryptonite, which is poisonous to Superman, but it's also the energy source of the Legion's sentient spaceship. So, the Legion has to track down the kryptonite, and they have to save Superman from actually getting killed by it. Again, this book was actually better than I thought it would be. Grant Morrison actually wrote a good story, so Action Comics is still on my on my pull list for the time being. Picked up Amazing Spider-Man issue 677. This is a crossover with Daredevil, which unfortunately I don't collect, so I don't know how the story is going to end. But it has Spider-Man teaming up with Daredevil, guest starring the Black Cat. But again, I don't know how it ends. Amazing Spider-Man issue 678. This is actually a really good issue. Someone at Horizon Labs developed a time traveling door. So Peter Parker and that guy see that the New York is going to be destroyed, and so Spider-Man has like a day to figure out what happened, what he didn't do to save Manhattan, so he can prevent this kind of future. And it concludes brilliantly in Amazing Spider-Man 679. I really enjoyed this story. It's really cool, and the time travel is actually handled really well. So, huzzah for Spider-Man! I picked up Venom issue 12. Venom goes. The big thing is that the crime lord wants Flash Thompson to take the toxin symbiote, which is the son of Carnage. But the Venom symbiote takes over, and he wants to destroy that toxin. But of course, Jack-o'-lantern is there to prevent that, so they have a big fight. But at the end, things just get worse for Flash Thompson, and Jack-o'-lantern actually escapes with the toxin symbiote. Then I picked up issue 13 of Venom, which is going to spew out into a whole bunch of point issues. And that's a problem with Marvel. Once a series gets popular, they do this kind of thing. But basically, it has Flash Thompson teaming up with the Red Hulk, X-23, and the female Ghost Rider. And they team up in Las Vegas to take down Blackheart. But what they're going to do is that they're going to release, instead of doing some sort of crossover between the other titles, they're going to release Venom. Each week they're going to release Venom, 13.1, then 13.2, 13.3, 13.4, and then they're going to release, everything's going to conclude on issue 14. So that's what I don't like about Marvel. They milk a popular franchise to the ground. So of course I'm going to pick him up because I do like Venom, but I hate I hate doing that. Picked up Astonishing X-Men issue 46. Scott Summers is still in that alternate universe where an evil Professor Xavier uses mutants as power batteries. And I'm really digging this. I was thinking of chopping off Astonishing X-Men, but this storyline is really awesome. Picked up Avengers Extinction issue 3 of 4. The Red Hulk goes after Cable. By the end of the issue, Hope is brought in, and to basically stop Cable from going after the Avengers. But Cable says that his time is running out, and that he's gonna do what he has to do to save Hope. And on the top, it proudly proclaims that we have 2 months until Avengers vs. X-Men. Really looking forward to that, but damn it, Marvel, why do you have to suck my wallet so bad? Because they're gonna have a whole bunch of unnecessary issues involving this. The concept is cool, but I hate to pay so much money to get the full story. Picked up Batman issue 5, a loving Batman. Batman is a prisoner of the Owls, and it's actually very reminiscent of the Grant Morrison Leviathan thing that happened, where he's stuck like in this cycle and Batman is stuck in this maze created by the Owls. But I'm really, really liking this series. Greg Capullo's art is really freaking awesome, and Scott Snyder is doing some really good work on Batman. Another book I'm loving, Batman and Robin issue 5. Damian leaves Batman to join this bad guy that wants to turn him into an evil guy. And, by the end of the issue, he basically tells Damian to blow this guy's head off. So I really want to pick up issue 6 now to find out what's going on. Picked up Detective Comics issue 6, Batman fighting the Penguin. I'm really not liking Detective Comics, so that one might be gone. I'll probably pick up the last issue, which is going to be number 7 for me. Picked up Fantastic Four 602. Galactus joins the fray between the big Annihilation, Kree, and Earth battle. Reed Richards summons Galactus, who says he'll help them out, but he's just there waiting for something bigger. So he takes on the Kree invasion fleet, and by the end of the issue, Celestials make an appearance. So things are really hitting the fan. Really, really digging Fantastic Four. And where did the Celestials come from? Well, you have to pick up FF. Doctor Doom, the alternate Richards, and the Future Foundation are trying to halt these insane Celestials. Sorry about that. So they're basically just trying to make time so that Galactus can appear and he can help fight the insane Celestials. So you really have to pick up both series to figure out what's going on. But I still hate the artwork, but damn it if the storyline isn't awesome. Picked up Green Lantern issue 5. Sinestro, Hal Jordan, and Sinestro's home planet take down the Yellow Lanterns. And the Guardians of the Galaxy are now full-fledged villains because they say they're going to create a third army to take out the Green Lanterns. Picked up Green Lantern New Guardians issue 5, which I'm also liking the series. Larfleeze sends the New Guardians to this space station that has planets in it. And they discover that they have recreations of planets that no longer exist. But Larfleeze, it turns out that he wants something from the planet, so the people on said planets release this bad guy that is going to give trouble to the Guardians. But really liking it. Picked up Superman issue 5. Superman is possessed somehow, and he's wreaking havoc on the world. But his spirit's in limbo or something. I don't know. Picked up Justice League issue 5. Still loving the artwork. The artwork is freaking awesome. And the story is really cool. It has a weird moment where Batman unmasks before Green Lantern. Basically, his plan is because Superman gets abducted. So his plan is that he's going to go to wherever they're taking the people. But that was a bizarre moment for Batman. Batman, never has unmasked that easily before. But still, really good book. Picked up Simpsons Comics issue 186. Love the story, but they changed the paper stock. It's actually a little cheaper now. I guess so they can keep the price range at $2.99. But I don't know. I hope they go back to the old one. Picked up Swamp Thing issue 6. If you are not reading Swamp Thing, I totally recommend it. This series is messed up. I mean, the whole storyline with the Rot has been really, really disturbing, but now it really hits the fan, and they've actually killed, the Rot organization has killed the Green, and Alec Bolan is basically begging to be Swamp Thing, and the powers that be say that that's not possible anymore, and he gets a chainsaw to the side of his, shoulder, so yeah, things are really, really messed up in this series, but that's what makes it freaking awesome. Picked up X-Men Legacy 260.1. Marvel's going crazy with the point things, but it introduces the new team of Rogue in Wolverine's school. Her team includes her, of course, Rachel Summers, Gambit, and Frenzy. So it's in Rogue's still in her teacher mode, so like that. And it continues in Uncanny X-Men 260. I'm sorry, X-Men Legacy 261, featuring the return of Exodus. He feels that the whole Schism Sim thing is threatening mutant kind. But by the end of the issue, he determines that it's Scott Summers who's at fault, so he's going to go after Summers. So now the Wolverines team has to stop him. Picked up Uncanny X-Men issue 5. Psylocke tells that the Dark Archangel left this habitat that things are mutating like crazy. So Cyclops' team has to go and, do damage control. I don't pick up Uncanny X-Force, unfortunately, so I don't know what that storyline's about. But the storyline continues in issue 6, where they're trying to fight this guy called the Immortal Man, which is basically just a guy in futuristic armor. But, Picked up Witchblade issue 252. Sarah Pacini is framed for the murder of this lady that had like a meat version of the Witchblade. So she's in jail, but it's interesting to see how Witchblade or Sarah Pacini no longer can use her cop powers to hide the weirdness that the Witchblade brings. So and she's starting to have visions of Hope, which she killed in Artifact. So really, really cool. I want to see what happens with the whole new universe thing. Picked up Wolverine 300. Marvel did it again. They stopped their series and continued the numbering. Basically, Sabretooth is helping out the Hand, and they go after Wolverine. So, I don't know how Sabretooth is back. Not only was he decapitated, maybe the Hand brought him back, but how did they fix his soul? I mean, when Wolverine was in hell, he used the Devil's Soul Sword to chop Sabretooth's soul into pieces. So, how does that work? I don't know, because it was established a long time ago that they could not clone Sabretooth. There was something about the healing factor that prevents Sabretooth from being cloned, so I want to know how he came back. That's something that I do want resolved somehow. Picked up Wolverine and the X-Men. Deathlock, who's from the future, basically comes to the school and gives like their, tells everyone where they're going to be in the future. But in this issue again, it involves things with X-Force, which I don't unfortunately collect. But they bring in a Kid Apocalypse and an angel that has no memory of who he is. So they bring them into the foil. But I'm really liking Wolverine and the X-Men, even though it is kind of weird that Wolverine's trying to save children and teach them how to use their power, while at the same time he's the leader of X-Force and he goes around killing people. Just, it seems weird how his priorities change like that. And the last comic book I picked up is Wonder Woman issue 5. In this issue, Wonder Woman goes... this is actually Poseidon, or the manifestation of Poseidon. Big fish octopus, yeah. But Brian Azzarello is doing some really good work with Wonder Woman. At least I'm liking what he's doing. So yeah, really like Wonder Woman. So yeah, that was the comic book pickup video. A lot of really good reading. It's really hard to recommend. I do like to recommend the best comic book of the haul. But it's really hard because there's a lot of good things here. So I'm going to recommend Witchblade, which I've done before. But I just really freaking love Witchblade. Tim Seeley's doing some really good things with Witchblade. And I'm going to go with Swamp Thing as well. Swamp Thing. If you want to see messed up things, pick this thing up. It's really messed up. In a good way. So yeah, like always, I thank you all for watching, and until I see you again, this is Vargas XX78, signing off.